Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another review. This time is the Mythic Legions Goblin Army Builder, and I have been sleeping on Mythic Legions for the longest of times, so please forgive me. I have a few pieces, but now that I have my hand on some what I consider worthy army builders, I'm hoping I can do them some justice. And I've been watching the line from afar, and I can do it no longer. I have to jump all in next chance I get. But I want to talk about how cool these are and how far they've come, and just how great these are. Anyway, the goblin is this tiny, tiny goblin, and they're awesome because you get tons of articulation, you get detail, and you get this really nice goblin, something that you don't normally see. So for me, as a person who's I definitely like the medieval stuff, and when I feel like we really don't have enough of it, this is really dope to have. So as usual, the first thing I'm gonna do is jump into articulation. So you can actually pop off the head, and I'm gonna do that real quick, so I can remove the extra mandible for that. I'm going to pop the head back on. So the head is actually on a ball joint. The ball joint itself doesn't move, but you can rotate the head in every which way at angles and up and down and spin it all the way around, which is incredibly nice. So I like that. Then the arms rotate all the way around very, very easily. I can obviously rotate all the way around. So I keep forgetting he's small, so I have to keep him in the frame. My joints are very, very tight. As you can see, it just popped off, but it pops back in with no problem. Mostly because you can actually interchange parts, which is really dope too. So you can actually lift them up. And if you feel like yours are very loose, or very tight, I should say, you can obviously apply the hot water technique, or you can obviously use a hair dryer. They are single jointed, but and you actually get rotating here the lower forearm, but they're really, really nice. I don't see why it's an issue for the Mythic Legions, because for a bunch of goblins and orcs and human characters wearing armor, I think you actually do get a very good bang for your buck, especially if you back the Kickstarter. So I think you'll be okay. There's lots of ab crunch that goes forward. There's actually a lower swivel as well that actually helps you go forward even more. As you saw with the legs, the knees actually have a single joint bend, but it's really nice and really far. And look, I popped my armor off, but again, it's not even a big deal because you can just place it off and on. And I'm going to pop mine back in. And there's so many things about these that I honestly don't know that I'm learning as I go along. And I'm just super excited. There is tons of ankle pivot that actually rotates all the way around. And please be careful. I don't want anybody to hurt their joints. So please make sure you give it some physical therapy with a hot dryer or some water, because my joints are very, very tight. So as you can see, he looks really good, and he's short, but it's amazing the amount of articulation and things that you get with it. So I'm going to back him up, and I'm going to talk about what he comes with. I'm actually really excited for this. Actually, I can't even do that without actually having a figure. Like, you have extra armor parts that you can plug in, or leave it single jointed, or leave it singular on. So you can actually plug these in the back and give him extra shoulder armor, right? Or let's say you didn't want to have the shoulder armor, or you only wanted one, you can take it off at any point in time. And as you saw, this can be removed as well. But one thing I want to point out is you get cooled, you actually get an extra head that is fully armored. So if you wanted a fully armored, very dangerous goblin, you have one. Like, this is crazy how cool this looks. How many different looks you can get. No one, like, it's like the articulated icons. You don't necessarily have to have the same one over and over. Everyone can have something different. And as you saw here, he starts off with this. You can actually add that on under that as well. Then you get a harness, which actually goes around the body. You can actually go over the shoulder with it. You can use that to carry a sword that you can, I don't think it's this sword, but I think it's a straight sword, so I apologize for that. Again, this is all stuff that I'm learning. You actually get adapters that I found out that these are for connecting wings. So you can connect wings on the backhand side with this. This is for a wing connector. And if you do want to hold your blade, you plug this in. And shout out to Mythic Legions for posting this stuff, because I didn't know what some of this stuff was for. And I believe you can hold the blade. Yep. So you actually can use that to hold a blade there. So you have a crazy amount of looks and things you can do to just look phenomenal. He also comes with a long spear, which is actually really, really long. You also get a short axe with a skull attached to it, and you can actually remove the skull to just have a normal axe as well. And just, you get a ton of stuff. And it's hard for me not to be excited about this, because this is really dope, and I've never had my hands on this many at a time. So I have now a bunch of goblins and dwarves as my first real army builders outside of the orcs that I got secondhand. So real quick, do want to jump into the size comparison, talk about how he is much shorter, but actually really nice. And I want to compare him first off to another Mythic Legions character, which is the orcs. So height-wise, you can see where the goblin is compared to other Mythic Legions right away. Here he is next to a Figma. And the reason why I chose Ruler, because you can technically choose her for like medieval stuff. Or if you're into Fire Emblem, you can choose the Fire Emblem's Fate characters, which look really small now compared to the Goblin. But in actuality, I think this actually kind of works out, at least for the female characters. Then, if you want to get even more medieval, you can actually try the Berserk character. I'm going to choose Guts. So Guts is better in size, obviously. Looks really good. Next up, we have Articulated Icons stuff. Also a fellow Kickstarter. So as you can see, height-wise, goblins are really small. But that doesn't mean they don't look cool as hell. I'm actually really excited to take photos soon. I'm hoping I do some really dope stuff. Here he is, size-wise, next to a Marvel Legends. Next up, Mezco Cap. And last but not least, let's do a synthetic human. Oh, wait, I forgot an SHF character. So give me 1 second, I'll throw in an SHF. Oh, I got Kamen Rider Build Black Hazard in. So let's do him. He's right there. So goblins are pretty much shorter than just about everyone. But I think they're the proper size. Even with the armored helmet, you can clearly see that he's significantly smaller. And I'm really excited because these just look like a ton of fun, even as a smaller character. If you're watching Goblin Slayer, these are a must-have. These are easily a must-have. So it's really cool to have these, especially armored ones. If you guys really enjoyed this review, hit me up on my Instagram. Let me know, and I will do more because I do have different variations that I can go over. And I want to make sure that everybody's happy with this, especially because I'm really excited, and it'll give me a chance to actually get used to going over the Mythic Legion stuff. So I appreciate the feedback. In the meantime, guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick review. I hope you found it informative. And most of all, I hope you do good, be good, drink your water, guys. Later. I was taking pictures, and the one thing I forgot to do was make sure that I covered it what it looks like next to Link from Figma. So this is their height, so now you know. Wanted to make sure I added it in. Thanks again, guys. Later.